Armstrong and Gary Lee back at the Bloomsburg Fairgrounds as competition continues here in side-by-side mud racing. A good crowd on hand, and they are being treated to something relatively unique in motorsports. There's a look at Jeffrey Stitt in Totally Insane.
That's a fiberglass replica. Now, they say it's a Jeep, but it's a fiberglass replica of a Jeep running the supercharged engine for horsepower. You know, the people from Pennsylvania, they are familiar with some good motorsports they play in the mud with, aren't they, Gary?
And there is Wayne Cooley and Plum Crazy.
3:04, the time they're trying to beat.
Now remember, they are racing the track, they are racing the time, and not each other.
Neither driver getting the shot they wanted at all on that run, Gary. It's kind of interesting. You run a gear in the front and the rear of these vehicles. The front wheels are actually turning twice as fast as the rear wheels. The reason for that is to try to keep the vehicle tracking straight.
And notice that many of these drivers choose to use the cut tires on the front and the paddle tires, which are legal in this open class, on the rear.
Okay, they found out over the years, if you run paddles all the way around, you don't have any control of the vehicle on the top end of the track. They'll give up a little bit of ET just to be able to go straight.
Sean Bowser coming up next in whiteout out of Butler, Pennsylvania. Nice and clean right now, but not for long. And there is Gary Funk in Sweet Thunder from Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania.
Thunder powered by Ford, whiteout, ready to make his shot closest to the camera. Both drivers go into the lane. Starter gets down behind the barrier to protect him. We got a good side-by-side race. Far lane almost got out of the pit, Gary.
Well, White Oak will take that one on a time of 4.437, but again, almost a second and a half slower than the quick time set so far. There's a 4.489.
One of the reasons could be that particular vehicle in the far lane weighs quite a bit more than the other one. So it's like in any kind of motorsport, the more weight you got to carry, the more horsepower it's going to rob you. It's going to slow you down. A 32 Ford fiberglass replica comes out now called the Rat Trap, Gary.
That's Robert Marciani from Wilmington, Delaware, and he will go up against a rather unique dragster type chassis. This is Dave Collins.
Collins is running the state-of-the-art and everything here. He's running a supercharger on this engine that's outlawed in other forms of motorsport. The engine he has, as we're going to show you a run earlier about the horsepower this vehicle will make, it's making so much horsepower in the four-wheel drive category. Look what it does to the front end. It completely pulls it apart. He is literally fighting for his life, trying to see where he's going and get this vehicle shut out. And remember, sitting in the front, he's the first guy there. He was lucky right there, Gary Lee.
Well, Army, that's a case of just too much horsepower. The crew put the vehicle back together. He is ready now to go up against Rat Trap, and here you are. You saw the time to beat. Oh, look at Collins. He's in trouble again.
Still haven't solved that problem. The water barrier, now he's in the building.
He hit the water barrier, the Hydra barrier, and then clipped the edge of the stage, and you can see the movement there in the cockpit.
Camera right on top of the driver. He's trying to get out of that thing. I don't blame him.
That's an immediate response in any type of motorsports accident. You want out of that race car and away from it.
That's right. He's staying composed and everything. The track officials are there, but he just doesn't want to think. He can get me out of here and let me collect my thoughts. The water barriers did their job. He still got into the building, but that could be a classic case of a vehicle making too much horsepower because the horsepower was collapsing the front end.
Once again, he had to be mindful of that run earlier when he had trouble.
Sure.
Now he is really going to be thinking about the run here. Let's take a look again.
The front end's collapsed. Yeah, he's just riding. He's sitting on the nose cone of a missile right now, and he doesn't know where that puppy's going.
He should have pulled the chute and climbed in the binders back about midstream.
No chute, no binders. This is mud racing, Gary.
We wanted to give you this shot. This is what our photographer Kirk Hepburn saw. Now he maintains his post as the vehicle comes right at him, and there's the splash of the water. Oh, it's a lot safer up here in the press box.
He did it for the fans to give you an idea of what it's all about.
Now, once again, the driver is okay, Dave Collins, but he has had a tough time here. You can see the damage. That would be the right front.
It's like an Indy car hitting the wall, wasn't it, Gary?
You know, Army, it's mindful of an early rear-engine Indy car back in the 60s. A ton of horsepower, but a very fragile race car. He was very lucky there not to be injured. The crew continues to work, and Army, you have made your way over to talk to Dave Collins.
Well, first of all, we're glad you're okay. We understand you're the new leader, but man, what a price to pay. What happened down there?
Well, same thing. Yesterday we had trouble with the steering. I was up all night this morning working on it. Got it straightened out, thought it was straightened out, and when I came out on the left side again, the thing let go again, and I had no control.
Okay, the steer, is it collapsing? Is it bending? Are you hitting the wall? What's causing the problems?
I think the rack, I haven't looked at it this time, I think the rack might have let go again. We have too light of a rack in it.
We're glad you're okay. I tell you,
Thanks.
you scared a lot of us.
Thank you.
Alarmy, you mentioned that he took over the lead. The officials have disqualified him because he went out of bounds. So just as he took the lead, time-wise, the vehicle was disqualified, and now it's back to the race shop, and time to put that car back together.
Just
look at that
people,
time, though.
2:71, under 3 seconds. But
That was
the
a tough
water
rat
barrier,
trap at 4.5.
if the water barriers had not been there, Gary, he would have been hurt. So the
Yeah,
Yodak
this
water
is,
barriers are doing what they're supposed to do.
We're going to see more and more of those
I hope
use in
so.
motorsports in the seasons to come. As we take a look at the next pairing, Dave Ray against Dale Small. Small in the Desperado 2 and Dave Ray in the Midnight Magic. A pickup truck versus the Jeep.
Pine Creek four-wheelers getting them into the lanes, and look at all the action. Here we go again.
Well, they popped the rubber off the right front of that pickup truck.
Hey, Gary, they keep banging a wall on the side of these things, and the walls are doing a lot of damage. The walls are getting them in trouble.
Yeah, but those walls are also keeping these vehicles from getting together in the mud, which may be so. The advantage may outweigh the disadvantage.
3.904 for the Desperado, not a bad run. But again, you got the replay coming up. A good smooth track, a little out of shape, tags the wall. That collapsed the wheel right there. Now, when that happened, it just pulled him into the wall, didn't it, Gary? It didn't bounce him back at all. Time for a bead lock on that right front to me.
We watched David Ray get in trouble, but watch Dale Small. He's being tossed about the cockpit to the point he reaches up and grabs the front of the roll cage to hang on and hold his position in that mud racer. Let's go down now trackside and talk to David Ray.
David Ray, give me an assessment of these ramps on the side of these tracks. That looks awfully dangerous to me.
Yeah, it's real narrow, and we usually run a little bit wider. I don't know why they made it so narrow, but it is getting pretty treacherous. It's real loose out there. What happens if you catch that rail? It flips you right up in the air.
And now we take a look at Joseph Dorr in the Instigator, a Chevy C30 pickup, and Dan Jordan in the Carpetbagger 3, a 23 Alter T. And there's a good look at the backside of your starter. That is Harry Straley. Once again, the Pine Creek four-wheelers. The guys are the members of the host club here from Jersey Shore, Pennsylvania.
Whoa,
he's in trouble. Is it going to go over? Oh, that's as far as you can go without taking it all the way upside down.
Boy, he took a ride up the ramp, and Kirk Hepburn, our cameraman, stayed right with him again. We need to give that guy combat pay or something. He's all right, you can see, but something's going to have to be done. We're getting too many guys almost upside down.
I'd like to
today.
take Dan Jordan's blood pressure right now because that heart has to be pounding. He is still in the cockpit. You can see the damage there to the left front wheel assembly. Driver's okay, but watch again. Let's see when he gets in trouble.
When it starts up the wall right now, see, he has no control. The back is just pushing. The man is just lucky. That's all you can say.
Not like monster truck racing where
No.
you power out of something
No.
like that. You get off the throttle and try to get it straightened out. Comes very close to the Hydra barrier, almost clips the edge of the stage. He was very lucky there. Now, a head-on shot. Watch him get in trouble. Watch him climb what would be his right rail.
See,
And
when
he's
the
totally
rear,
out of control
yeah,
right
when
there.
the rear tire hooked on him, that was it. Showtime.
He almost ended up in the other lane. Boy, Joe Dorr had a real bird's eye view of that accident.
Some days in motorsports, you just have days like this, and we should have known it coming in.
Seems like some of the fastest runs have been disqualified because they've gone out of bounds. The Carpetbagger at 3.132, but he's being towed to the sideline. The Instigator's time, incidentally, was 5.008. We'll step aside right now and let him tow that vehicle back to the paddock area and come back with more after these messages.